I am Jan Elve, and my husband and I have been attending Chapel Point since last October, and we are really excited to see what God has for us in ministry within the church family. I was not raised in a Christian home, but was led to accept Christ by my sixth grade country school teacher. It was much later in my life that I was mentored and discipled. I worked as an RN for 45 years and am now retired. After finishing nursing school, I married, and then a year later, my husband died of leukemia. That was an experience that was very difficult to go through at 23 years old. However, it really did change my nursing practice. I had much more sympathy and empathy for families who were in crisis. After 6 years of being single, I married again and moved to the Virgin Islands because that was where my husband was from. It was also in the Virgin Islands that I met two Christian women who mentored me, discipled me, and I had a fantastic church there. So I grew tremendously as a Christian, and that was a very valuable experience for me. It was also in the Virgin Islands that God sharpened the gift of hospitality. After 9 years of marriage, which involved physical and emotional abuse, I found myself single again, and I had sole custody of my 8-year-old son. At this time, I moved back to the U.S. to be near family. My son is multiracial, and this in itself proved to be quite a challenge in the Grand Rapids area, because it was not an area in the 70s that was open to this kind of a situation. But again, God used these experiences that my son and I went through to help other women in similar situations, encouraging them, praying with them, and discipling them. So again, God used that situation for good. Always God was with me. He protecting me, providing, giving wisdom. Things were not always provided in my timeline, but God always provided within His timeline. And in remembering how God provided and took care of us, really, I know that He will do so in the future. And I think it's really important that one remember how God has taken them through difficult times in their lives, because that really can strengthen and further your faith. My life verse is Jeremiah 29:11 through 14. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope in the future. Then you will call to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart. After 25 years of being single, I married again in 2000, and that has been just a wonderful time in my life. Sometimes, God takes us places that we really don't plan on or would even choose on our own, but He takes us there to further our faith, and also by doing that, then we can have quite an impact in other people's lives, and encouraging, praying, discipling them, spending time with those whose hearts are broken. At this point, my husband and I are going to be facilitating grief share within Chapel Point, and due to the losses that I've had, and also my husband, his wife passed away in 1996. We have both gone that journey, and so we are going to be facilitating this ministry within the church. And we're very excited that God is going to use us in this way. I think the one thing that I would really emphasize, and just was a theme throughout, was the graciousness of God and always being there for me through every situation. There was never a time that I really felt that God failed me. His timing was not always my timing, but God's timing is best. So I think we have to leave it at that and just give Him the honor and the praise.